Myntri Rangbah ke jela korat sangmah nik sngi ulai kendu ke Rangbah Shnong baper de ke Rangbah Shlong bat ki khap suar ban sngap ke jing Pynsngew ke jungki halor ke jinge ke ba ki ya kendu bat ya ke jing don kam ke ba ki don kam ha ki Shnong ki thau jungki ha gani ke sngi ke Rangbah Shnong ke Pynsngew ke jinge ke ba ki ya kendu kum ke jingduna ke jing bom biang ki street light ha ki Shnong ki thau ki nala bat kilenti ke sengken Nakaleng Myntri Rangbah aba jawab ikini kijinge kibaki Rangbah Shnong ke Pynsngew hau ulaong bak sorkar lang baki tenar baper kepersang ban pet ya kijinge kebaki pajba ki ya kendu bat ban penbiang ya kijing don kam kejongki ula berabru da kebaong bagi haban sedang na eire na ei henrai bandong bakin le lut baro kanampoi sya ei ru henrai ban sedang kendiat pa kendiat kidon kijing kermen bakin la ban poi sya katong
Rangbah Shnong jail shop Lumpulon. I had raised on many meetings that I had with you, sir, in the secretariat, in another the convention hall and other places also. Number one is the overhead cables that swing on and make our village looking very dirty because of those overhead cables, most of which are not functional, or maybe some of them are functional. But we do not know. We have been trying to contact the cable operators. Yes, they responded to our request to come and meet with us, but they never do any positive action to remove those non-functional cable in our locality. So that is number one. And the second one is stray dogs. We have been fighting so hard to make our locality clean, but we find that the stray dogs come and make dirty the entire village. We cannot check those stray dogs because they come from nowhere. We don't know who are the owners. So I would like to request, after we have met many times and have raised the same issue in the previous meetings also, but I do not see any action taken by the concerned department to take out these stray dogs from our localities. Number three is the Umkra River. We have been to the foreign countries and found that a river like Umkra could be transformed into a tourist area where tourists can come and use for boating or any event that they can be managed. But up till now, the Umkra is still very dirty. And I would like to request the concerned department to kindly take action.
A lot of challenges in Shillong in general, so we had to start somewhere. So if we started to do everything, we would not be able to do anything, to be very frank. I'm not saying that we've been able to do everything, but I guess we're starting phase by phase, step by step, at least try to, look at the low-hanging fruits and try to improve those in the immediate things. So we thought that cleanliness, the beautification, the painting, the CCTVs, the street lights. So these are the things that we thought that be easier to start with. The cabling is a very critical part. I've been thinking about this for the past, in fact, almost 5 years. I'll be very frank with you. And then I was so keen that we should make, at least start with the main Secretariat Hill and make them all underground cabling. And then we were told by all our engineers and everybody that the moment we start doing that, please do expect about 1 year of work. That means that entire construction is to be done and there'll be massive traffic jam and all of these kind of things. So then obviously when you hear over traffic, because traffic is already a problem. So we said that, look, let's wait for this project. Let's not do it right now. Let's put up the parking lots first. Let's come out with a parking policy. Number two, let us be more stricter with the overall parking systems. And once we do that, then maybe create alternative routes. So we postponed that particular project. So under this cabling is a complicated project, but I think you have a very good suggestion there, where you said at least the cables which are not being used. So I think that is something that we could start with. So I don't know how we will go about it. We just come out with some plan. Maybe we can take up few localities as pilot projects. Maybe that's a very good suggestion. And at least take out some of the cables that are not working, the poles that are not working. Remember we went to Bara Bazaar, and then there were those telephone poles and the electricity poles which are not being used. So we started removing those. So I think similar to that, I think it's a very good suggestion that even if we cannot go full underground cabling, remove the cables that are not being used, remove the poles that are not being used. So we'll definitely examine that. It's a tough one, let me be very frank. It's not easy. It's easier to paint, it's easier to clean, so therefore we focus on the easier ones. I'll be very frank. We thought that as we move ahead and as we become a stronger team working together, then I thought we'll take up the difficult ones. So this is one difficult one, but I think it'll be easier to remove those. Second, about the dogs, I really don't know. Supreme Court had given some order. I don't know if how that will be applicable to us. This I'll have to see, because there are a lot of animal lovers also. They'll come out with some kind of another reaction. So I have to do something in a balanced manner. I totally agree. It's a problem. It's inconvenience for people, and there is obviously some littering also that takes place. Just give us some time to examine this one. This is a new one. I did not hear this last time. I found it new. I think I remember the cables, but anyway, I'll keep that one. I'll keep that one in mind. Regarding the river that you said, the cleaning of the Wamukra. So as you know, that process has started. We have started to fence all the locations which are open. Almost, I think, 7 or 8 kilometers of fencing has been created. We are in the process of putting up more. I think maybe Mr. Boro can give a bit more detailed report on that. I don't have all the programs, but I'll request him if you can just get a microphone to him.
Citizens Rangbah Shnong who are here, we have already notified the parking policy in the urban areas, especially in Bora Bazar. Construction ongoing. One is Education Department, SD office, I think in Maukhar. Almost, I think, completed that parking. And one is municipal. Also, there will be a parking space we have already created there. And off-street parking, on-street parking, we have already identified. Rangbah Shnong also there. Now they are on the job, sir. Rangbah Shnong, they have notified only the parking space, and they are collecting the revenue from their side. Share is 80-20. Rangbah Shnong, they'll get 80%.
Borosar, just so that we come in stronger enforcement to be done by the police, so that the parking. So while we create parking lots, because I understand that you have to give the alternative also. So while you do that, but at least some kind of a stricter presence of enforcement. Agencies and police, especially traffic, to ensure that footpaths are not being covered by parking. That's the concern.
Constitute the zonal task force. I will send the zonal task force of that particular area to go inspect and publish the report. Accordingly, action will be taken.
Yeah. So can you just
7 zones called the zonal task force related to urban parking policy. I am in charge of the entire Maulai area. And I'm grateful for the support that has been extended by all the Rangbah Shnongs and the Maulai area. My colleague, Shri Gautam Warjri, is in charge of Lomdingri, and I would humbly request the Rangbah Shnong of areas under Lomdingri police station to kindly take up the matter with the concerned sector magistrate, and the sector magistrate, together with the sector police officer, will conduct an immediate inspection. In fact, after this meeting, I will personally call him and apprise him of this issue that has been flagged by one of our Rangbah Shnongs, respected Rangbah Shnongs, for Maukhar area. So we have 7 magistrates in charge of different localities, but these has been grouped as per police station, and our citizens would be happy to know that we have already started the pilot project. We are grateful to our Honorable Chief Minister. Through his support, we have been able to start, and where we are also generating revenue for the Rangbah Shnong, so as to enable them to pay our volunteers. I'll give you just a very small example of Mauro, where we live. the locality here where there is haphazard parking, particularly on the weekends. Now that a number of restaurants have come up, a number of eateries that have come up, on a weekend there is haphazard parking. But thanks to the initiative taken by the Rangbah Shnong, together with the zonal task force, we have already earmarked areas where you can park your vehicles. And should you park your vehicles in area which you're not supposed to park, a fine would be imposed. So, sir, that is the initiative that has been taken by the zonal task force of the different localities, sir.
So at least
So thank you so much. This is really, we are very happy to have you here with us. But one question, sir. Is the government of the day identifying some source of water if the crisis like we are facing these 7 days, where only one source of water, if that problem comes, even the shop in many localities they have to close because there is no water. So I want to ask the government of the day, do they are prepared or identify any alternative source of water if this crisis comes, so that the public at large will not have a problem? This is a small actually suggestion and question.
Yeah, in fact, I have been monitoring the situation for the last 4 or 5 days myself, just so that everybody is aware about what happened. So these are basically the normal pipelines that are feeding the entire or most part of Shillong. And during this construction, which we only have been pushing very hard, NHIDCL, that they have to finish it within the next 2 months, at least Shilpi up to the 7th mile section. So during that construction phase, they damaged the pipes that were bringing water to Shillong. And if you must have seen it right after the that military 101 area, just ahead before you go into that the walk that Rotendro, that walk is there, the trek is there. So in that zone, you must have seen a lot of water being flowing. That's because the pipes were damaged. We have taken up with NHIDCL about this damage that they've done, but we had to completely change all those pipes. It was a massive exercise, and they worked almost 24/7 for the last 4 or 5 days. And it's almost under completion. I'm expecting today, hopefully today, it should be completely restored. And I do apologize to people for the inconvenience that is caused, but it was really something that we really didn't have a choice, as mentioned by David, that there is actually no alternative as of now. Now, the second part of the question is creating an alternative is also not so simple. This is a massive, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of crores have been invested in this particular water source. But what we've been doing in the last 5 years especially is that we have been also trying to identify local sources in different local localities. So we are creating backups, not in general for everyone, but local springs and local streams that are there. Wherever it's possible, we're trying to create alternative sources locality-wise. So this is being done in many of the localities. I don't have the list with me right now, but many of the localities, they brought this up themselves to me, proposals, and wherever this was brought, we have supported and helped them to create alternative sources. So is there going to be a backup source for the whole of Shillong? That may not be possible because it's just too big a project. It'll run with thousands of crores. We can't do it right now. But what we can do is, locality-wise, wherever you feel, the Rangbah Shnongs can take initiative. If you feel that there is a local source, in times of difficulty, the water can be stored and kept in the tank, and at least people can come in and take in buckets or whatever it is. We can do that backup, and that we can do locality-wise. These are smaller projects, depending on the size, 30, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs of project, which we can work locality to locality. So that's the only thing we can do. Another thing which we have been focusing on, just to share with you, for the Greater Shillong Water Supply Scheme. As you all know that now, after 17 long years, finally the water is now reaching all the different tankers and the different reservoirs as it is supposed to. We had a huge problem because of land acquisition and a lot of local problems earlier. I don't want to go into details. But now, more or less, we are seeing that the overall the water supply scheme that was meant to be implemented, as I said, about 14, 17 years back, finally is actually being implemented in almost complete, it's been completed and it's been functioning now. And a lot of damage also was done in the Moplang Dam. That also is under repair. A lot of issues we had with also the sources. I want to share this with you also, that if you're aware, last year I had taken a trek up the Upper Shillong, this forest area, Umja side. So the stream out there which feeds some of the localities in Shillong, we have in fact identified through technology using radar, drones and also satellite imaging the flow of the water, and we have created dams and reservoirs to slow the flow of the water and also to save the water so that we can keep the water for the people so that they can use it. So these kind of projects are now being replicated in all the different catchment areas along this entire Upper Shillong forest area and entire Umyam, the river basin and the whole Moplang area. So all of this is being done to strengthen the overall water supply. But to answer your question in short, no, there is no backup as such for the Greater Shillong water supply, simply because it's so big that it's going to cost huge amounts for us to do it. And
if this crisis is happening every now and then, let the municipal fill by tanker to the to every locality. We have a tanker there, so that there will be not much problem. So I remember last time also, which month I didn't remember, but they came. They supplied to the tanker every locality.
okay.
So that is one thing. And one thing also, we have one project in our locality, which is a PSC project, which is completed and water is there, but they say they are moving for the another fund to supply to the houses and to the municipal tanker.
Okay.
So that is I just talked with your chief engineer. He said they moved to the government to get the sanction, but the work is completed, sir. If
Let me find out. I'm not. If anybody from
water is there, but up till now we have not yet.
so it has not been activated.
Not activated, and
Okay. I'll find out. If there's something that we have to do from the government side, let us know. Just note that down.
yeah, this
I'll look into this. This I'll personally look into.
But the most important is
Officer concerned, geodatum is already on the list.
So as directors mentioned, your locality is already in the first 45 list.
Okay.
I mentioned just now that out of the 45, 25 have been completed.
Okay.
So the 20 not completed is one is your locality. So just give us few days, we will complete those also. So it's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. 25 are done. Like today we inaugurated Mauro.
Yeah.
Like that we will come inaugurate your CCTVs. It will be done. It's in the list.
Okay.
And regarding the tanker, I think it's a very good point. We can, always when this kind of situation comes, I think CS can take a note that whenever this kind of disruption in water supply is ever going to happen, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does happen in the future, then there must be a joint meeting between the PHE and the municipal and maybe water resource and others, and the DC of course, to jointly discuss about how to minimize the inconvenience to the people and ensure that there's a system in place that gets activated automatically when there's going to be a shutdown. So when there's shutdown, then how do we ensure that localities will get the water supply? And then we can have a small meeting with the localities in Rangbah Shnong, so maybe the WhatsApp group, they can mention that this is the timing of the tankers, and we can minimize. We can't give enough, but at least we can give the basics. So I think it's a very good suggestion. We can come up with a small SOP, so that in the future, these kind of things happen automatically, without anybody having to say that can we do this. So let this be part of the SOP.
listed, and they said that I think the project is already closed, but the work is half done. It has affected my locality.
We'll do one thing. My team can just take a note of this. On 19th, you call the Smart City CEO and the other officials and Rangbah Shnong to office. I will take a review myself with all of the officers concerned and the CEO, and CS can also join us. I'll take this issue up. I remember you mentioning this last time also. I will call all the officers. We will sit in my room and we'll find a way forward. Okay? Because I don't have the answer right now, but let me call the meeting. I'll call the CEO, the engineers, the urban affairs. Everybody will be there. You will be there, and your Torbar members will be there. We'll take it up. I don't have a solution for you right now, but let's just discuss this and see what I can do at my level. And if there is a possibility to resolve this, if there's some funds required, I'll ensure that we move forward in this.
Just one more question.
Yes.
For the parking, the areas are demarcated. But unfortunately, 70 to 80% of the total parking area is being occupied by the vendors, vegetables and other, and littering of solid waste and everything. We have discussed with the authorities, but till date, nothing has happened. So I would like to request you to kindly look into it and find a solution.
So I think all of you know the work that has gone into this. There was a vending act by the government of India, and then government of Meghalaya also came up with a vending act. The two acts being in clash, so obviously the Parliament's act is, more superior, what do we call it? So that will be, effective on us. So, but then our act had different terms and conditions, and the national act had different terms and conditions. And based on that, there was a court case that was filed because we were implementing our own state act. And hence this drove and went into a long litigation which was going on for years and years and years, because of which we could not actually do the vending zones and we could not regulate the vending zones. So this was the problem we faced. So what we took the decision during my earlier term, we said, why should we go in clash with the Central Act? So we went ahead and we repealed the Meghalaya Act. When we repealed the Meghalaya Act, the Central Act then came into application. But the Central Act had different terms and conditions. So then we started implementing those terms and conditions, and that required again a lot of activities to be done. So the good news is that all of that has now been done. And that's the reason why Kindala, we were able to implement it, because we implemented the National Act, and now they were not in any clash of any act. There's no legal hurdles, no legal issues. Now it's a question of only now taking one zone at a time. So please give us time. We are working on it. The hard part is over. All, whether it's Laimukra, whether it's RR Colony, whether it's any other location. Now we are very clear in terms of our implementation of our act. But obviously it's not an easy thing because it requires a lot of convincing. It requires us to find alternative spaces for the vending zones to be created, so on and so forth. So every locality has got its own challenges. With that background, I think Borosab will be able to tell you what is the...
As per my information and all, there is some objection setting. There are some claims, counter-claims, sir. We are going to find it out with DC, no? So we are trying to conduct inquiry and all, because there is claims and counter-claims for the jurisdiction. That's why it is very sensitive, sir.
Okay.
But for vending zones, there's this thing, this relocation of hawkers, it is being monitored by the Honorable High Court. Accordingly, we are following the same, and in the next year, you will see so many relocation of vending these hawkers and all. We are following the step, but we will conduct that inquiry. I have contacted DC and Roni also regarding our colony. They have raised the issue during the zonal meeting at the state level. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask...
land, which was earlier a park, and even till today also it's a park. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir, and my apologies if I'm wrong. But what I got to know was that park will be converted into a commercial space or something, and that plot of land has been given to Muda. So I just want to clarify, I mean, like, if any clarification.
Which one? Where is this?
There is a plot of land in Polo, just adjacent to the Orchid, which was a park run by the Forest Department earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So why I'm saying, sir, because the thing is, I think so we need more of green spaces within the city, sir. If we want to see...
You're right. Can I reply?
Yes.
Okay. You can sit. So basically, So if you recall, about 2 years back, we had started a process of identifying land, government lands, that were not being used in a productive way or any way, and then identifying them and seeing how we could, bring out more, value in terms of parking spaces, or any kind of commercial spaces that have come out. So in that exercise, some MECL plots came out, some plots that belonged to the forest department came out. This particular park also was there. I don't know if you know this or not, but actually there was, for a namesake, it was a park, but there was all garbage inside. It was full of garbage, so many things lying inside there. It was really badly managed. Yeah, and obviously it was unutilized. So what we decided was that since we need to create this entire space where polo area, we have got to create vending zones. We need to create parking lots. So then we decided that since that whole development of polo is taking place, we have very limited government land, and so that was one of the government lands we had. So we decided that we're going to convert that into vending zones as well as for car parking, so that that whole area of polo can have some space. Otherwise we have no space. Today if government wants to put parking, there is no space at all. There is absolutely no space for parking. Tomorrow when I want to bring the vendors who are on the streets there and give them space, I have no space at all. So in fact that was the only space that came out that belonged to the government that was there. And as I said, it was not utilized, it was not maintained, it was nothing. So it's right next to that the hotel, Majestic Hotel, and what's that? A mandir. There's a mandir there. I don't know what mandir. Myntri Rangbah and mandir, and then and that Majestic. So it's right in between that. It's a long rectangle shape. I know that one. So that was the issue. So we have no choice actually, because we need to create vending zones. And that is going to be one of the very important vending zones for us. So all the people, where do we take it? I have double headache. What do I do? So I need to do this also. I need to do this also. So I'm balancing. So that's the only way to do it. There's no other way. There's no other space. So we really are trying to create because ultimately when the whole of the polo zone becomes, hopefully one day we are working very hard. It's still at that negotiation stage. We'll be able to really clean up. And because I really want to keep that front space open as we move forward. Hopefully we'll be able to convince the people out there, take the shops inside. I hope we'll be able to create an open space in that area. So we don't want cars to be parked. They want people to be able to walk around, sit there, bench, some maybe food stalls, obviously regulated, stuff like that. So then in that case, where do we take the vendors? Where do we take the parking? So that's what it is. So you will have to take that in your hand to maintain. That's my only request. So we will provide the lights to you. I do that. I've just recently went to Pynsngew. I had given there also. Similarly, I'm happy to do it. I'll just see the numbers. I may not be able to give the exact numbers you want, but we'll work it out. My team will speak to you. So Alex or whoever's here, somebody, Daniel, Alex, whoever, you can just take the contact details down. We'll contact them, get the application done. I'll figure out how we'll get it, whether we'll get it through CM Solar Mission or through MN Reader or through CMSDF, whichever scheme it is. One thing, as I said, I'll resolve the solar light issue. Thank you. Which also is part of Maulai, I think shows my commitment. No matter whose constituency, which constituency is it, all people of the state are my people. So I don't choose, I don't select. I'm here to serve everyone. Let me assure you that. But regarding the particular locality, as mentioned, we have selected 45 in the first phase for CCTV. So that is not the end. There will be a second phase But since we had limited capacity in terms of manpower, finance, everything, and also we didn't know how it would go, so we decided we'll start with phase 1. So the only thing I can assure you is that as soon as the second phase we will do, by when should we start second phase? January? Second phase will start January. We will start listing out the localities right after New Year's. I assure you that we will make sure your locality is in the second phase for the CCTV. So we will do that. So just make sure, Borusa, that is there. And I think the second phase take up all the ones which are left. Why leave it? Huh? Are you completed survey? Okay. Survey has been completed. Can you take the microphone with
Myself and with other Rangbah Shnong, I think we have already contacted survey for street light and CCTV. And there is going to be one silver jubilee, one stars. Remember, I think Rangbah Shnong, you are there. We have already conducted survey, but Rangbah Shnong still they have not given us the specific location where CCTV is to be installed and street light is to be installed. I request Rangbah Shnong to put money in other areas wherein we had conducted survey. I think 1 month before. I still remember in the search building itself. Please give us the report immediately. Along with PHE, Film Day, and municipal, I think we had conducted survey.
Rangbah Shnong mo subhaba pin ay ka zonal task force group nang bangin na papan phasha ka urban affairs department. Please use the zonal task force group, sir. A WhatsApp group of zonal task force for all the 7 locations, sir, has been created. In fact, very many problems have been able to solve through this local WhatsApp group that we've had, sir. In fact, just yesterday, one of the electric poles in Maulai Umthlong, sir, was about to collapse. The matter was brought to our notice, sir. We have a WhatsApp group on the East Khasias district, sir, and immediately the matter has been resolved, sir. So I once again request, sir, through you to the Rangbah Shnongs, please share in the WhatsApp group. I think the communication will be faster, be seamless, and so that works can be done at the earliest. Thank you.
And also just again,
Terpat ikitu ki dong ki Shnong ki bala bo ya demand na kabenta ki CCTV berkunjung na kabenta ki solar street lights. Lada pimpat don ha kani ka kenhun ka baningkong. Kani ka kenhun ka ba are ka ban sedang ha u kut jung Januari kut banai ka bangin sedang haba gi lada wan na kaliang tu ka Shillong Municipal Board. Unwan pe ikitu ki jaka ha ka ba kin install ki street lights. Akarpat bapin penpit yangi hei kita ki jaka du ki klajit limba jong ki zonal task force ng ki zonal magistrates kena bangin na papan pha egani sha I CEO jo Shillong Municipal Board ikum jo shaka urban affairs department like
problem that we all having, like in the last meeting in the convention hall, you said that lighting up the locality was one of your priority. So we in locality we have a lot of street lights that are not working, and you know, in the darkness a lot of antisocial activities take place.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank the government for at least installing us, giving us the CCTV already installed. But you know, the range is very short. It's just about 90 to 100 meters. So we cannot cover the whole of the locality. So it's just that I want to know from the government whether you're going to cover the whole of the locality, or it's just that.
No, we, is if a survey is done of already installed street lights, if we can, you can repair them so that they can start functional, then you don't have to install new ones. So if you can do that, I think that'll be good. You can put an agency in charge. Done. Okay, good. So that exercise is already being done to get the old CCTV street lights which are not working to be again repaired and reactivated. Second, let's just tell you about the CCTVs. I mean, it's a very simple thing. We can't do everything in one go. That is the whole point. So we have started with what we started, 45 localities, and in selected locations. As we move along further, there is no limit. There is no limit. So we will, but obviously if you say every house we want one CCTV, then we cannot do that. So as we move along, wherever you demand and then we feel the demand is genuine, definitely we will give. So no need to worry about that. Allow us, because it's a process. We just started this 2 months back. You know, the convention hall meeting was where all this thought process started, and within this 1 month, 1.5 months time, we've already put CCTVs in 25 localities and another 20 will be put. So it is just a momentum that's picking up. But let me assure you, whether it's the street lights, whether it's the CCTVs, our intention is to saturate the whole of Shillong, saturate the whole of Tura, saturate the whole of Jowai and every district headquarter as we move along. But as I said, it takes resources, funds, money, so it's not easy for us. But we are in the process, and we will, if there is a real big emergency saying that no sir, this is the location where all the antisocial elements take place, then we will take it. So there's no limit, we will do it. Yeah. I think
we have been working very, very rigorously in reshaping our Durbas and our localities. You have provided us funds, provided us encouragement, and you show us the way. And we want to say a big thank you to the government of the day. And apart from that, sir, just like one point to make from our experience, that we who stayed, our residents from Motpan area downside, Mokhar area, Mission Compound, Lady Jail side, Messenger side, on returning morning side from Police Bazaar by car, we found that the President side, that hawkers-free road meant for Christians, is free. And if we cannot go from there because restriction is there, no entry, we have to go to the main road. And it had a lot of pressure on that, and it takes us around an hour to reach our residence. While that Christian road, main PV, is free, say from 9 o'clock to 3 p.m., if cars can go from there, we staying at Mahar side, if you can go from there, because there's nothing there, sir. No more hawkers, at least thanks to government, no hawkers, no more hawkers, but it's free road. 9 to 3 o'clock to 2 p.m., nothing is there, sir.
Can you give this in writing to me?
Yes, sir.
Just one small note.
Yes, sir.
Just so that I don't get you wrong, that's all. Just exact thing, exact timing, location, what you have in mind.
Yeah.
I'll just others. And I think
in this commission, I am George Rangbah Shnong of Maulai Modabeki. A few decades ago, this Maulai was also under the Rangbah Shnong of Maulai Modabeki. I don't want to tell so many things, but just to inform you that Maulai Modabeki locality is the main contributor of the filthiness of the Umsalang river that supply water to the Maulai area. So during those days, during our childhood, the water is pristine clear. But because of the increase in the residential houses, so these natural drains have become clogged, and many a time during the torrential rain, so the water turbidity of Solang is a great problem. So now, like I'm suggesting, if to your office, if these natural drains that flows through my locality and also from the Maulai Moro, if they could be modernized into a cemented drain and cover it with the cemented slab, I think we will get a very clean water from Salang. We will get a very clean water from Salang, and it will add up to the water crisis of Maulai area. Of course, now also it is supplying water to the Kanton Masar area, but most of the Maulai area. But the main contributors of the filthiness of that Umsalang river, it is because of these two localities and Umsingmo. So if those natural drains of these three localities could be improved, then the water will get a clean water.
I'll ask CEO just to have a joint meeting with you. And just give me a thing, because I really cannot comment right now without knowing the size of the project and what kind of financial implications there will be. But definitely we can start the process. So at least we can, if we survey it once and then we know that this is how big it is, we can do maybe phase 1, we take these mesh kilometer, phase 2, phase 3. So at least in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years time, we'll be able to come to conclusion. So let them just do a study. I will ask Baroni and take the technical team, from whichever department they require. Let them just do a study. then they'll talk to you and then they'll propose to me.
So thank you very much.
Okay, let me examine it.